Hello, I'm Jeff Phillips with ROA, and in this latest edition of ROA Update, we're going to talk about a couple of items of interest to reservists, members of the National Guard and the Reserve. The first one is military appreciation. And as many of us know, since 9/11, the public's consciousness of the contributions of our military and their appreciation has really increased a lot since, well, the days when I was an ROTC cadet in the late 70s, when I wasn't even allowed to wear my uniform on some days because of the unrest following the Vietnam War. And what we're seeing now is a lot of military and veteran appreciation programs, such as this one that we've just seen from Dollar General, which teamed up with Red Bull as a program to help veterans in the military. And that's terrific, and we appreciate that. One thing we've noticed in this campaign and others, we saw one in Ford Motor Company's excellent customer appreciation program, military appreciation, where they offer discounts to military purchasers of their vehicles, is they tend to omit the reserve component. So it'll be active duty military, veterans, families of the military or veterans. And what we've done is communicated directly with the presidents and the CEOs of those companies, asking them to include uniform reserve components, including those of the Coast Guard, Public Health Service, NOAA, in their military appreciation programs. And we'll carry that forward. We'll probably do a national news release to increase the consciousness within the private sector of the contributions of our reserve component when they put together these terrific and much appreciated appreciation programs. In other news, you've probably seen in the media the stories about immigrants who have either joined the military or aspire to join the military, and in many, if not most cases, become citizens of this great country. Some of them have gone through basic training, and they're actually with units, in many cases reserve component units. Some of them are now getting notices that they've been discharged for reasons that they don't even know. And ROA wrote an op-ed, it was in the Hill newspaper recently about this, where we sharply criticized the federal government for what we see as a failure to coordinate between departments. We're not blaming the Department of Defense. In fact, DoD has been very careful to ensure that people who get into the military have proper security clearances, and many of these recruits come from places where it's very difficult to get the information that would confirm their security clearance. Say some young person wants to come in from a country in Southwest Asia or South Central Asia. It's hard to get the information to assure the country that they're not a security clearance risk. In digging into this, what ROA is learning is that, in fact, the programs, which date back to the days after the 9/11, when President Bush signed an executive order that expedited the recruitment of soldiers from other countries who were not yet citizens, to the 2009 program called the Military Accessions Vital to the National Interest Program, or MAVNI for short. You've probably seen that. These programs had at their core goal bringing in young men and women from other places that had skills that we needed in our military. And as part of that, they would get expedited citizenship if they qualified. The programs have changed. We've gone from one program to another. And what has happened is, in between programs, people have fallen through the cracks. And what we're learning is it's just not a malign thing. It's essentially the bureaucracies, DoD and the Department of Homeland Security, which has control of these citizenship actions, need to work better to coordinate the programs, to slow down the process that denies immigrant status after a period of time, and on DoD's part to communicate to military units what they should be telling their immigrant soldiers. In some cases, maybe many cases that we're seeing, soldiers who are awaiting adjudication of their security clearance, something like that, let their immigrant status expire. Well, it's a lengthy process to get your security clearance. Sometimes your status as an immigrant expires, and that is when you are essentially kicked out of the country. And we're calling on the federal government to work together. If we have a bright young person who has been led into the military or told by DoD that we're working on your security clearance and you have the skills that we need, then maybe that period is extended for their immigrant status through cooperation with DHS, so that they can wait the period of time and they don't have to leave the country, and end the process, end their hopes, their dreams, and end America's access to these bright young people who want to serve this nation and essentially become the future of America. This is ROA Update. Thank you very much for watching.